to reiterate how grateful we are, how thankful we are that we did not experience any fatalities last night. We do have more information as far as the number of homes that were damaged. Last night we were talking about 40 to 45 homes. This morning, early this morning, we heard that it's more in the neighborhood of 100 homes. We have 15 that were completely destroyed, 22 with major damage, 22 minor damage. There's 8 with moderate, and there's an additional 30 odd homes that are currently being assessed. Right now, I think the biggest concern, certainly for our community here, is safety. And our residents, too, are very anxious to get back into their homes, and we certainly understand that. But we need to make sure that all the precautions necessary are taken so that they're accessing their homes in a safe manner. And so we are asking them to go to the staging area at Long Branch Elementary. The Red Cross will be providing access details as we clear different areas. Then we'll put that out to the Red Cross, and then residents can be escorted and check their belongings and their homes. That is critical. We want that information out there. We'd like to reassure them that we are doing everything that we can to make that happen as quickly as possible. We've conducted a secondary search of the area. We're going to go into a tertiary search, and this will be a little bit more detailed to make sure that nothing was missed in the debris. Chief Thompson can address that a little more later. The Texas Baptist Men is also coordinating volunteer efforts, and they will have a staging place also at East Ridge Baptist. Correct me if that's
correct.
Is that correct? East Ridge Baptist. And the important thing for everyone to understand is that we deeply appreciate the willingness to come out and be of assistance, but it's very important to work through this organization so that the volunteers are in the right place at the right time and that they are safe as well. Chief Thompson, if you'll join me over here, I'd like to tell them a little bit about some of our operations through the evening.
Sure. My name is Eric Thompson. I'm the fire chief for the city of Red Oak.
Could you step up to the microphone? Thank you, sir.
More direct in front. There you go.
All right.
Now I can read you.
Eric Thompson, fire chief, city of Red Oak. Last night we were able to, as soon as the storm passed, we immediately started a primary search of the area, and then soon after we did a secondary search. We did a grid-like type search where the initial search was very quick, and the secondary search was a little more methodical. This morning, after daylight, actually right now, they're doing another round of searches just to make sure nothing was left, and we wanted to. It's also safer when we're working during the daylight versus at night. The nighttime operations is very dangerous because there's a lot of unknowns out there with all the debris filled and the electrical power lines down, and so the light is helping us. Right now, the various fire departments in the area are assisting us with that. We've had a great cooperation with all the area fire departments, and we all work together to have successful operations. We have not had any additional reports of any injuries since last night, and we're very grateful for that.
Earlier, there was a report of no major injuries, so that means nobody hospitalized. So there were.
We have
There were
one.
two.
Well, two. One critical, and the other one was serious. The rest were all minor injuries.
Were those in Ovilla?
They were in that area. Yes, sir.
How were they injured? In the debris, or was it afterwards, or what happened?
It was actually in the storm, so it was as an effect of the storm. So it wasn't afterwards. It was during the actual when it was coming through. So they were in homes. Whenever the homes that came in, they were injured.
So that's an update from earlier this week.
That's correct.
Okay. When both were in homes, male, female,
I don't know that.
both in the hospital.
I don't know if
At
they're still in
least
the
one.
hospital. I know at least one is.
Oh, the critically hurt.
That's
Correct.
correct.
And then the other, as far as minor injuries, are you keeping track of those? Or?
Not really. There was numerous minor injuries. You know, cuts, scrapes, abrasions, minor sprains. But other than that, we didn't keep track of those.
Looking at some of the extent of the damage, especially in a Glen Heights neighborhood in particular, are we lucky that there weren't more injuries than what you currently have?
Extremely fortunate. We're very blessed to only have the injuries that we have. There was a lot of people home at the time. There was a lot of people occupying those structures. A lot of, the Christmas time, there was an increased number of people in those homes than there may normally be. When the crews were searching, there was some that had 6, 8, up to 10 people in these structures. So with the amount of damage that was seen, we're extremely lucky and very fortunate that we didn't have any fatalities or any more serious injuries.
How effective was the warning system?
The warning system we did different types of warning systems. We did a code red. We did our CTY Connect, which is text messages, emails. We did social media blast, and then we did the early warning sirens as well. And I think that with the amount of injuries, if you compare that to what we're actually seeing with the damage, I would say that it was effective.
Our first alert came at about 5:28 that afternoon, and of course the tornado hit the ground at about 6:01. So there was quite a bit of warning, and I think that has made a difference with the CASA radar system that's in the Midlothian area. Okay. It gives us a lot of advance notice, and we're able to communicate that to the community. And I think that has really assisted in seeing a decrease in injuries.
Judge, what do you think the next few days will be like?
Well, today certainly is still an assessment phase, and assisting the people that are displaced. The next few days we'll just be combing through the area, make sure that nothing has been missed, cleaning up the debris, making sure those power lines are no longer a danger. Right now, I want to stress that still is a very dangerous situation with power lines down. Encore and Hillco are still working on that. Our precinct crews are assisting with those efforts too. So it is going to be a cleanup. It's going to be a recovery process. It's a traumatic event for a community. Again, we're so fortunate that we did not see the type of tragedy that Dallas experienced. And so we're grateful for that. But there is still a lot of, there are shaky nerves among the public, and for those people that have been displaced, it's going to be hard for them, whether they have the resources to rebuild quickly or not. I think just a sense of displacement it's a tough thing for a family. Yes.
We were talking with some of the residents in Glen Heights on a very damaged street in Tricia Lane earlier this morning, and they said it was 2.5 hours last night after the storm before any first responders came on the scene. Was that a problem because it's right at the county line and you don't know whether Ellis County or Dallas County is responsible? Was there any kind of communication issue between the counties?
There was a brief communication issue. Glen Heights lost all communications last night, all radio emergency communications due to the storm. And I know that initially there was challenges getting into areas just because of the debris field. I mean, there was large trees, there was vehicles, there was power lines, there was a lot of areas that, it was just very challenging to get in, and sometimes we had to be creative in how we were able to reach areas. So there was some areas that were delayed. I think that the crews did a very good job. We had no injuries to any first responders, and so I think that they communicated amongst each other very well, and they were able to get in when the risk was reduced and allowed them to get in. But
certainly working in the dark was
right.
not helpful.
That's right.
And how many total people roughly displaced? How many people?
Well, we have 100 homes that sustained damage. I don't know if we have an exact count yet of how many people were within the home, so I can't give you an exact number.
I don't know the exact number that was in the shelter last night. I know that
we'll be getting lists later.
Because some of the damage might not means the house could still be occupied, I guess.
That's correct.
In some cases, it'll still be.
That's correct. And there's something that I would like to caution our residents about. There are a lot of independent contractors that are in the area hoping to access the locations that are the most heavily damaged. And there are definitely good contractors, and there are others that are not as scrupulous. So that we, as a matter of caution, would urge the community to check out the businesses with whom they're dealing through the Better Business Bureau or the Chambers of Commerce. That would be helpful.
Chief, can you tell us a little bit about the communities that did have first responders involved, and about how many folks you guys had on the ground that were helping you out?
Sure. We had the city of Waxahachie, city of Midlothian, city of Red Oak, Ferris, Glen Heights, DeSoto, Lancashire, Cedar Hill, Duncanville, and the city of Dallas also provided aid. So, we had, I don't know the total number of boots on the ground, but I know we had well over 60 different companies dispersed and deployed throughout the whole area, between all the major sites.
As the chief said, it is truly a collaborative effort. Judge Jenkins reached out yesterday. I contacted him. It's a sense of community, and people do come together and offer whatever assistance and resources they have, put it at our disposal, and we try to do the same for them in a situation like this.
And we worked hard over the last 10 years, really trying to build our relationships with all of our neighboring communities through training, through mass casualty drills, through mutual aid agreements, and we have a lot of things in place that just for this, not only for fire response, but for the EMS and the law enforcement, public works. That was another resource that we haven't really talked about, but the public works groups of the North Central Texas Council of Governments, they have a mutual aid system amongst themselves that help with debris management, and that helped us with chainsaw crews and front end loaders and that aspect. So, without the public works crews having a good response, we wouldn't have been able to complete our searches in a timely fashion. So I think that the whole system performed well last night.
Can you just, this is basic, but where is the damage? Is it all in one, people are more familiar than I am, but how's the locations that are damaged?
Our 13-mile swath?
It's actually 17.
17 now.
Yeah, we have in Ellis County, we have a 17 square mile area that goes like the Long Branch area, Black Champ Road, goes a little further south down Ovilla Road to a subdivision called La Vista, and it travels north of Westmoreland Road, crosses Ovilla Road around the Shields Elementary area, Cinnamon Springs subdivision, and this continued north, all the way north of Bear Creek.
I know there was a
17
second
miles.
tornado.
17.
17.
17
Yes, sir.
square miles.
Yes, sir.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
There was a second tornado reported northeast of Ennis. Has there been
Right.
any report of any damage from that part of the county?
That was in a rural area, in fields. We haven't had any reports of any homes being damaged. I don't know if any barns or anything like that, but nobody reported any injuries, and nobody had any home damage.
How many shelters you got?
Initially, we had 3, and then we reduced it down to 1, which is the Long Branch shelter, and we did that just because of the need. We opened them up because we didn't know exactly the influx that we were going to have.
Do we know how many people are using that one shelter?
We don't. I don't have the exact number.
And you said that anybody who wants to go into their home there's a staging area, there's a place you got to go and wait and get an escort?
Well, right now they're checking to make sure that that it's valid, that's really their property, and we have law enforcement staged in various locations, and they can speak with law enforcement officers. Right now, we're encouraging people not to do that until we complete this last round of search and make sure that it's safe for them to go in.
But some people are, okay, so there's not one specific place people are
No,
supposed to
sir.
go to. They just go to the area, and then the police there will verify if they...
Correct, and at some point,
Right.
they'll be escorted in to get their
Okay,
personal
so
belongings.
It's not one
Right.
particular... okay.
That's correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
So is there some talk of a tour that we could go see some of the damage, or how's that gonna work?
Yes, we are going to invite you to do that. I know that people are very curious and want to see the area. So immediately from here, we'll be going out and taking a look at some of the damage. You're welcome to come. Sarah Garcia can kind of give you some details on how that's going to happen. But again, just want to express my thanks to all the first responders and all the agencies that collaborated yesterday and made a bad situation better. I think a lot of the damage was mitigated because of the cooperative efforts.
That's right.
So thank you.